Welcome to AltJake Takes On. Hello, everybody. We are back. I am AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On, episode number 33. I'm with my buddy George, as always. How you doing today, my friend?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. I've came off a busy day yesterday of our live show of us going. If you guys haven't listened to them yet, please check out our live show at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on our YouTube page. Going over AEW Dynamite. So I did that from 8:45 to we went till 10, and then 11 o'clock I was on for what was supposed to be 90 minutes to 2 hours, and we went almost 2.5 hours with on This Is Awful with those two guys. That was a lot of fun. So if my voice sounds a little crackly today, that's why. I was a lot more talking than I'm used to, but damn, it was a lot of fun.
The price of fame.
The price of fame.
Come on.
Hey, I'll take it, man. We were vibing pretty well and cracking each other up. And when we were in the little part at the end of it, all three of us were like, yeah, that was fun. That's the most I've laughed in quite a while. I'm like, that's a win for me. That's all. Whenever I make appearances or talk with anybody, if I make people laugh, that's the win. You're in good for there, and the chat was happy with it too. So
yeah,
it was fun.
I want to get to that in a couple minutes.
I just wanted to thank them from the off, and also too, because if earlier today my voice was a little crackly when I was at an appointment, so just in case I crack with it. But yeah, what do you have stuff you want to bring up? Stuff you want to cover?
Couple quick things from yesterday. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the passing of Ace Frehley from Kiss.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
As a 60-year-old male, Kiss was a staple item for my musical preferences at the time. Not really a band meant for music. They're not heavy metal. They're kind of rock poppy. I don't know.
I
would describe their music, but they're not meant. They're meant more as a marketing tool. And Gene Simmons took that to a new level. But Ace Frehley, obviously the original guitarist, passed yesterday from complications due to a fall. So I wanted to throw that out there.
I mean, it's one of those things, and I mean, not to just immediately bring it back to wrestling, but the easiest way to talk about it, it's one of the reasons why WWE sometimes is a little bit more sanitized or homogenized people, because it's really Kiss was heavy metal for the masses, because it wasn't really heavy, but it's not heavy metal for heavy metal heads, but it's kind of toned down so that it's a little bit more appealable to other people. Obviously, there was still the period of time with the Satanic Panic and all that kind of stuff, but still, yeah, you're right. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, they knew what they were doing. They were trying to make, and that's why it worked so well, and that's why they were smart enough to even though it was a hell of a look and a hell of a video when they took the makeup off. It was really I feel like it was kind of like when Kane had the mask off to eventually put it back on, because that's what we want to see. We want to see Kiss in the mask.
Yeah, I saw Kiss once live in concert, and of course that was the Animalized tour where they were without makeup, and
it
terrible.
Oh God,
terrible. Worst experience of my life.
Oh God. Because that
one time I see him is
oh
that
no,
oh God.
Oh God, yeah. And so you've seen you've seen Ace, you've seen Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. You've kind of seen Kiss, but not really. Oh, that's rough. Because the whole thing, it's a live show. You have everything. You got the best.
They have everything from a Kiss lunchbox all the way up to a Kiss coffin. So
I honestly feel
Kiss coffin.
I feel like it'd be harder to figure out and find things that at one point weren't licensed to Kiss. He
licensed anything. Gene Simmons licensed anything.
Absolutely. I feel like it's also one of those things that I feel like he did that initially too. We're gonna license everything because eventually it's gonna run out, and then 25 years later, it's we're still
it never ran out.
Yeah, it never did.
Never did.
No, even think of the times there was other things that happened in your childhood. For me, the first real big boom of pop culture of stuff being licensed to everything that you could see for me was Bart Simpson. Because that was when I remember, that was 89, 90. So I was 7, 8. And that was the first time I was old enough to realize what was going on and seeing that there was Bart Simpson everything. But eventually, there's still Simpson stuff for sure, but not nearly as much as it was. There's still Kiss. Everything Kiss.
You see kids with a Kiss shirt on though.
Oh yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So my wife and I sometime in March or April, we did the neighborhood my mom and stepdad live in. We're having a neighborhood yard sale. So people just came to the area and you could put stuff in front of your house and you had guaranteed customers. So my wife and I tried to clear out everything that we could sell. And one of the things I had from my time working at a local record store here in the early 2000s was a set of 4 Kiss dolls. They're in the packaging and had like the KISS, and they were bought by an 11-year-old. He really wanted them.
Yeah, they're worth a lot of money. You shouldn't have sold them.
I looked them up. They weren't in the best shape. They were.
Now they are. Oh, they're not in the best shape. Okay,
they were in decent shape, but now these specific dolls were like some of the mass-produced ones. Like the biggest value, even in pristine condition, I think was like $60.
Now they've got
up. And they were not in pristine condition. Plus, too, it was able to sell it. The kid was like could afford 2, and I'm like, nah, man, have the set. And like that kid's face lit up, and I was like, that's awesome, man. Hell yeah. So that's the only thing I remember of what I sold, but that was great. And yeah, if they're worth more money for him, great. But that was more of just let's pass it on. But rest in peace, Ace Frehley. That's one of like that's also one of those things too of like, hey man, had a longer life than you kind of would have expected from some of those guys. Like,
he beat himself bad.
Right, exactly.
Like he drank so much they didn't let him back in the band when they had a reunion tour. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, sometimes that kind of happens with wrestlers too, where some people, obviously lots of people wrestling and rock and roll.
You turn this back to wrestling. That's impressive.
I mean, I'm just in general of what because it's a similar lifestyle of it too, where there's certain people where you see like Ozzy Osbourne or what is the guy from the Rolling Stones? I can't remember. Not
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, yeah. The two of them, like Ozzy just passed away. Like those guys live forever in what they did to themselves. But there's other guys who've died.
Keith Richards, plenty alive, by the way.
That's great. It's still wow. Like that doesn't.
The man has literally looked like a corpse for the last 30 years.
I was gonna say my entire existence was what I was gonna say. He's got whatever Monty Burns has, where he's got all the diseases, so they fight each other off. But same with wrestling, where there's certain guys like where it's shocking that Jake Roberts is still alive, or that Scott Hall only recently passed away. Yeah, it's one of those things where certain guys make it. It's a very similar lifestyle of ridiculous and craziness. But I was good to see a lot of the tributes of Ace because I always liked Ace, but you always feel like he was kind of like. I don't want to say the redheaded stepchild of Kiss, but it kind of sometimes they was treated like a dummy.
No, they just want the two of them, Stanley and Simmons, just wanted the clean image to go forward, and they knew what they were doing. And was not ready for that at the time.
Mm-hmm. No, especially at that point too, because like you said, at that reunion, it was about business. You were going straight forward to make as much money as possible with it. And
yep.
No,
speaking of corpse, yesterday, Mr. McMahon was boy, he looks good. I'll give him credit. He looks much better than the last time we seen him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm hoping that the last time I think he was seen was he was getting in an accident on the Merritt
Well, here we go. Here, I have an update for you. I'm going to put my glasses on and read what I have for you.
Breaking news, people.
Okay, this is yesterday. It's not really breaking.
Right.
I'm going to be reading this, so I'm going to go kind of slow. A judge in Stamford, Connecticut, granted the former WWE chairman this is courtesy of Wrestling News Co., by the way.
Okay.
A judge in Stamford, Connecticut, granted the former WWE chairman Vince McMahon access to an accelerated pretrial rehabilitation program. McMahon was present for the hearing. Under the terms of the program, McMahon's charges will be dropped if he adheres to a set of conditions over the next 12 months. These include keeping his record clean, donating $1,000 to charity, and following all driving laws. If successful, the case will be officially dismissed in October of 2026. McMahon's attorney, Mark Sherman, told TMZ Sports it was good news. Not every car accident is a crime, and the judge agreed he deserved this dismissal, and we're grateful for that. The charges stem from a July 24th accident where McMahon was charged with reckless driving and following too closely. No injuries were sustained in the incident. So thank you, Wrestling News Co. for that.
Yeah.
And that's where we saw him yesterday in court taking pictures out front.
Right. And this one we've had court where he's got the Pepe Le Pew.
He looks a lot better.
Yeah, no, he does. And like the other pictures that I saw too were like full body shots where he looked, he definitely looked healthier. But Yeah, I didn't realize that was from. I just saw the 2 pictures from outside it. So I like when you see that picture of Vince, you're like, oh, that's clearly a courtroom shot. But the other ones was just like him outside shaking hands with people. Yeah.
So
no.
yeah, I saw that and I just caught that, so I wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I saw like this picture was what I saw, where you see like this, where he's just outside.
Yeah, he actually looks like himself though. That's the thing I noticed.
He
didn't
does.
look like last time he had the
like the weird
Snidely
Whiplash.
Whiplash from the cartoon look.
Yeah, he had the weird lips and like the hair and like and then the mustache, and then before that it was the mustache. There was some weird looks.
What was it? I can't call it the Adolf mustache, but
no, because
the Humphrey Bogart mustache.
Clark Gable was where I was gonna go.
Same thing.
Exactly. That was just exactly. We were on the exact same page. That was where it was. Now, and now he's looking more like Sputnik Monroe. Oh, here's a good one. Yeah. No, he's looking like Sputnik Monroe.
At least he looks good. That's all.
No, he looks much healthier. Like if you just look up Vince McMahon, just go through
top scumbag, but that's beside the point.
Oh, absolutely. But much better, especially. And now we know for sure he's 80 years old because he just had his 80th birthday party.
Yep,
that whole thing all went out.
That was,
I mean, another person that's kind of surprised that he's live just for more of what he's put his body through and what he's put in his body or what he's
he's keeping himself alive for as long as it takes. Trust me. His mom lived to 101, I believe.
Oh wow. Okay,
I'm pretty positive.
I know. No, that makes sense. No, because I do remember that was talked about before that Vince would you could mention the mom or there was or like that he would still talk about her. They send money and take care of her and like what's his brother Rod.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
There's 2 of my 3 checklists for prior. Last one. As you mentioned at the beginning of the show, we did our live show yesterday, and then afterwards you were scheduled to do a segment.
Great.
This is awful. And I dropped this at 20 and asked if you can be on the show for the whole thing.
Little Cash App. Hey.
So yeah.
I'll take it.
What I wanted to check on was like how'd it go? I listened to about 40 minutes yesterday live, and then I went to bed and listened to the rest this morning. It sounded like you guys had a blast and it was a lot of fun. And what I wanted to get to was like, just give me your synopsis of the situation, how it went.
For sure. No, it was
why you decided to tell everyone that it was my idea for everything. And
I thought it was, I legitimately.
No, I'm just kidding. I thought it was funny
because
because Awful said to you, he goes, how do you guys have like 4 or 5 shows? And you're like, no, only 3 really, or 4. I lose track.
Right,
and then you were like, I could see, I'm like, he's going to throw me under the bus. And you didn't. I was just busting.
No, it was fun. No, so what's funny is when I'd been Dis had messaged me and we've been talking it, and then he mentioned it on their show because they didn't have a show last week. So the 1 week before, he was like, we're going to bring Jake on for a segment. That was exactly it. So when we were messaging back and forth today, and yesterday, and he's giving me like the link, and I'm gonna we're gonna kick through. I'm like, so what do you want me to do? Do you guys want to like start and I'll come on, or I'll start? And he's like, just come on the beginning. We'll just see how it goes. He's like, we're gonna talk about Andrade and watch some funny videos. That was my show prep. I'm like, this is great. This will be fun because I know these guys and we've had plenty of conversations with them. If you guys haven't seen it yet, let me pull up Awful's page. It's the Andrade conspiracy one. That one, the most recent one from October 16th. That was the episode. And we just bullshitted for 2 hours and 10 minutes of just 3 guys laughing at stuff. It was a lot of fun. There were some good points made too, though, about, we talked about, whose fault is it of this Andrade thing, which still like, it's a little bit of everybody's. Is it? I mean, if he lied about it, okay, that's on him. But if you believed his lie and didn't do your due diligence, isn't that on you? Like, who's their legal team? We were,
that was kind of why we touched on it on the live show, because I knew where you guys were going, so I didn't want to really get too much of your opinion because I knew where it was going in about an hour and a half.
It was a lot of fun though. I mean, for it's great too because they're kind of new at the whole. They've been doing obviously Toonie Talk for however over. Is it 2 years yet or close to 2 years? I'm not sure, but a good while. But this is their own thing, and they are doing something completely different. They are just kind of having, it's more, and you're just kind of going in fresh and just being able to talk and have fun and be able to be comfortable in voicing opinions, because there were certain times where I said things that were kind of, like disagreed, but nobody were harping on each other. We made fun of each other with it. Other points where it was like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. That's a great way of doing it. And then I don't know how long the segment was, but we just watched like 30, 40, maybe an hour.
That was like the last 45 minutes.
We just watched wrestling music video.
Yeah.
The moment he said it, all I was waiting for was the Ultimate Warrior Phil Collins 2 Hearts video where Ultimate Warrior does the worst rhythm dance you've ever seen and then beats the crap up out of Phil Collins for the entire music video. No, I didn't. He just said wrestling videos, so that's all I got. So I didn't know if it was gonna be. You probably would have given me 10 guesses, and I don't think I would have guessed music videos. I was thinking like, I don't know, AEW flubs, Aubrey being silly. I knew dumb indie stuff. It's great. No, it's great. It was perfect for me as somebody who, as I said earlier, worked in a record store from like a little bit after my 18th birthday until just after I turned 21. So like formidable years. I love it. I'm a big fan of music. That was one of the best conversations or most fun parts when we had Awful on. I think it was the second time we had him on where we talked about music for 15, 20 minutes and just got to hear what he likes about it, which then turned into when I saw 9 Inch Nails like a month or so ago. They played the song that he mentioned, The Perfect Drug, and I was able to film a good portion of it and sent it to him.
Yeah, I had fun listening to it. I thought it was great.
That's what it seemed like, because since it wasn't ours, but I was, us going at work, because when we go, I try to pay more attention to like, if there's anything in the chat, but just, guiding the show and doing the pictures and stuff. But since it was them, I didn't have to do anything. So I was just kind of sitting there. I was keeping an eye on the viewer count, and it never got below us. But like once it hit, I think it was like 42, 43, it just kept going up. It never went below that. And it seemed like everybody was laughing and having fun, which is their whole point. I think that's why the order works, where we got the Maniacs kind of kick it off with their energy and their breakdowns of stuff the way they do it. And then you come to us, who were a little less serious about it to a point. And then those guys are the nightcap, where they're just having fun. It's just a fun environment. If you guys haven't subscribed, I highly recommend just going to Awful Wrestling's page, subscribing. They go live. It's supposed to be 11 o'clock Eastern every night or every Thursday, but we were only like maybe 2 minutes late. We were pretty good
dude. I'm a comment watcher person. I absorb what people say. Stop with that stuff. It's just 11. It's 11 o'clock ish,
right? Yeah. No.
Because first off, that's one of my things. Don't worry about it. Second off, they know if the sound isn't working properly. It's not easy. And if y'all think you can do better, get your own shows and see how it works, because it's not as easy as you just get on here and you go. No. There's a lot of things, like you have to. They know. Trust me.
Yeah. No. There's a lot going
comments. On. Lighten up on the comments. Like, you have to get your sound levels up, dude.
Yeah,
it's their show. If they don't want, it's their show.
There's a difference when you're like somebody like Mike Glass, clearly poking fun and enjoying with it, being like, "Oh man, we should take a poll of where they're going to go." Joking, and because we're gonna be there watching the whole time, and we enjoy it, and we're gonna jab at each other and rib each other. There's another point, where people like, oh my god, it's unlistenable because you don't have the quality of it. Like,
then don't listen. Don't listen.
Yeah, right.
Because they'll tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you. Don't listen. Find somewhere else to go.
Yes, or give me $100 super chat so I can go buy a mic. This stuff isn't cheap. It's not easy. Also, too, both of them have kids and lives and jobs and wives and things. And
Awful's older than me. Awful's 1 year older than I am, so that made me quite happy last night.
That was great. Oh man, no, that was an awful lot of fun. No, it really was. We were by the end of it, my cheeks legitimately.
I'm always watching the comments during the show, and then I look at the comments after the show, and there were just enough people to make me angry. I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
are we going to be 5? Oh, Dish, you're late.
I also feel
so what? It's not your show to say, because dude,
yeah, no, I feel like some of their haters though are probably because they talk
people
about
out there listening to my voice. Understand one thing: shit does not always go on time like you would think it was, especially with this new stuff.
Right.
And most of us, the younger people that do this, it's easy. But when the older Like if I go in here and I'm not ready to go and I don't have something going, I'm freaking out because I don't know what I'm doing. And this is in that age group. Awful's in the age group. You're close to it. It's just technology scares us older people. I'm sorry.
Now, I don't usually get too scared because I'm just like, all right, how do we figure this out? Like, I'm like, I can figure because I feel like I can solve the problems. But yeah, there are points where I'm like, what is going on with this? There was a couple of times, I think it was on the live show or maybe the last recorded one where I kept trying to put the picture up and StreamYard was just like, nope, I'm not doing anything. I'm like hitting add to stage and it's just like, fuck you. God damn it. But you work way through it. I do feel like for those two guys, especially though, I would assume that some of those people that are being dicks are people that just don't like them because
they're regular people. They're there and they expect everything. I know what's going on.
See, that's why I always make the jokes of where I will totally self-deprecate us and to kind of appease that because I always used to look here. I'm not like a skinny guy anymore, but I'm not near anywhere. I'm not that fat. I used to be close to maybe even a little bit over 300 pounds, and I'm like 5'10" and a half, maybe. But now I weigh like 205, 210. So but there was a point I would spend a lot of my life being a fat kid, and my mom was the middle school principal that fed into one of the middle schools that fed into the high school I went to, and we have a very uncommon last name. It's a reason why I don't give my last name in the world. If I give it, you guys can find me. But either way, I got made fun of a lot, and I was always able to like deflect back because if I made fun of myself first, prevented me from getting punched in my fat face. So I always kind of do that with us to be like, because if we make mistakes, hey, we'll figure them out though. Because remember when you had that mic thing where we couldn't figure that out, and you were able to, because I would have never thought we'd probably still be doing through your mic camera if you hadn't figured it out. Because when we recorded it, it sounded like you sounded now until we transferred it over, and it was like,
why is George in the garbage can?
Yeah, and like a big one. You're like in the dumpster. You were back here. It didn't make any sense. That was the strangest thing. I must have downloaded it and like messed with my system like five to 10 times before I was like, okay, it has to be on some other end of it because the first time I heard it when I was editing, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's
odd.
It was odd. But just keep in mind, we do a recorded show for a reason. We do a live show for a reason, but not everything goes according to plan when you're doing a live show because you guys don't see what happens, what's going on. You try to prep, you try to be ready. Something could go down. I don't want to see my friends and dissing off one of my friends. There's no reason for you guys, anybody. Oh, you're 5 minutes late. Why? Just get over it. As long as they give you a show, you're there. Enjoy it. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. No, seriously. We're all just trying to do this. We're having fun here. It's not like we're not sponsored by Sirius. It's not like we've got commercials or investors. We're all doing this for the love of the game because we enjoy
technology is technology. It's gonna have problems. That's just the way it is.
No, no matter what systems use. That was the other thing too, is they were using a system. They were, at least through the way I was connected with them, was through Discord. And so I'm like, until right about before we got on, I couldn't figure out like where my screen was supposed to be, what I was supposed to be looking at, but I figured it out, made it work, which is good because I knew there was videos coming. So I'm glad you didn't start with the videos. But
they don't use Streamlabs, they use somebody else. Or they do
Stream Elements, I believe, is what they went. But they had me going through a connection on Discord was how I was connected through them.
Yeah, I couldn't do that because I'm not on Discord.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had to make sure make sure my stuff was active and on. You haven't been on here in a while. I'm like, yeah, I have enough social media, but it was fun. It worked it was very easy. Once I knew what I was doing, everything sounded great for me. Everything I saw, all the visuals were easy to watch and stuff. It was fun. No, it was a good time. And then, we went through, like I said, we touched there was the Phil Collins video. There was the one with Dolly Parton and Hulk Hogan, which I had seen, but like twice in like 1992. And the Wrestle Rock Rumble was the one that's going to be in my head for the rest of the weekend. I'm just going to be like, do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
I enjoyed it, and I think everybody there enjoyed it. So.
and they both did too. That was all I really cared about, because that just means so whenever they want to have me back on, I'm more than happy to join them with it. And if they ever need a fill-in to help them out during the AEW pay-per-views, because I know those are 5 to 6 hours, so if they have to have, hey, we'll have somebody come on for here, you do 90 minutes here, do 2 hours there. I feel like I showed that I can do that well and have fun. Everybody
Yeah,
seemed to
I
enjoy
was
it from
happy.
my end, so it's
I
good.
was happy listening to you, and I was
That's
also happy that I got compared to Neckbeard. So I kind of
that was
enjoyed
yeah,
those
that was
comments.
it was that was kind of because you were kind of like the comment. You're the booker and help me out on that side of it, but also on air too with it, and lets me handle the technical side, so I can do edits and clips and make the thumbnails and all that kind of stuff that I literally had zero practice at before I started doing this for it. So, which I do feel like that's also a lot of those are getting better. I feel like if you go back and look at the old logos and thumbnails, you're like, ooh, yeah, it's a little cheap, little old school. We're getting better with it. Which also, too, if anybody has any ideas or things they want to, please shoot me a message.
Don't share them at all, please.
Yes. Fair enough. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out that episode yet, go out and go to Awful Wrestling's page. This is Awful. They're live October 16th, 2025. They're smart. They don't number their episodes. Just put the date on it. I've got us kind of locked into the numbering of it, but it helps me too, so I can have them clips and everything numbered, so I don't put the wrong thumbnail on the clip post or whatever. Oh, this is going to be the AEW review. I'm reviewing NXT. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. The last of my PSAs was we have the Sunday Spaces coming up this Sunday at 8:00 Eastern. So join us on X for that. AltJake takes on.
Yeah, we'll get to talk about Wrestle Dream, which doesn't seem to be a dream for anybody. I saw the rating came out. It was like 530, 540.
Yeah, I figured it'd be above 5.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people were going less than 5. And I'm like, no way.
Not yet. You know what I mean? Like they're working their way there. You know what I mean? Now it's one, like we talked about. It used to be their average was they rarely ever averaged. I don't think like the million. You know, I think they had like the 1.5 at the beginning, and then but let's say there was a good time where they were going to be in the 9s, and then the 8s, and then the 7, and now this is their time in the 5s. But there's gonna be.
I think you've reached their core audience with the 5s.
That's what I think.
That's what I think. So
I think there's the core audience because they're really. I mean, even the people.
Has the Dynamite rating even come out?
Yes, it did. It was
on
like
5.
It's let me see. I saw. Who did I
don't consider anything official until I see on WrestleNomics. That's
fair. That is fair, but I do feel like it was okay. 534 according to Awful and Neckbeards and those.
Okay, because they were right. They were right last time when they had the 321. Right, and I questioned that, so I'm not going to question it this time. So
yeah. And that last one was the last one was the 321. That was super question, or 329, whatever it was. It was not only was super questionable. I haven't seen it from anything else yet that I know of, but I just know they posted that an hour or two ago. But I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. That would be right where they should. I mean, but that's where their wheelhouse is.
That's where their base number is. We've always known that. 500,000 to 600,000 is their base audience. That's
right. And you wonder though if they are starting to, and if they're going to push some of them away, because it does seem like there's not as many people that are just blindly supporting because they're seeing what they're seeing in front of them.
You're in the core audience now. You're in the thick of the thick at this point.
That's all that's left are the ones
because you can to get a really good gauge. We'll have to look at that last hour of Collision. That's your hardcore.
Oh yeah, I think, and that might be why you haven't seen it from WrestleNomics, because they're working on the quarters. You might be right. That's a good point.
That's the one you want to look at the most, because that's your base. That's your never gonna waver base. That's it. That last hour is gonna be it.
And like the last half hour is again, is it gonna get like to that point of lower and low? Yeah, I'm very interested to see that, because I don't know. We talked about it. I didn't watch the last hour. I wasn't even given the option to watch the last hour. But I wonder.
Yeah, I watched some of it. Like I said the other day, it was yesterday, the other day.
Yeah,
whatever.
And I mean, and NXT on Tuesday did 690. So it can do for them.
So let's talk about the week that was.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might as well start with Raw. Yeah, no, and I've just
gotta let me just reintroduce him, my friend. I got you. Let's start.
Not bad. Oh, you're good.
And you take over, and we're good.
Yeah, no, we've got it started. And I thought it was I mean, obviously you had to start with Seth and I did the big giant ring. But if you go back and watch, because we all know what happened at the end, I mean, they started off smart, but look at Braun's face there. Look at his face there. Like there's some, and if you go back and look at a lot of those shots, there is a lot of Braun just looking at Seth, and
yeah, he's been doing that for a while. I know
he has, which
subtly,
right. And I feel like it was one of those things where you had to bring it to the forefront because do we know what Seth's actual injury is? Because I feel like he was purposely wearing these clothes to cover up. Because there's rumors that it's a torn pec like Cody's, where he's like purple chested and stuff. I don't know this for sure.
Yeah,
I haven't heard. Yeah, I don't know. People are like, oh, it could be a.
While you're talking, I'll take a peek.
Yeah, it could be a broken shoulder or whatever. But because I've seen reports that he could be out past Mania. I mean, it's torn something. It's because that's the other thing too, is you're not gonna. I mean, no spoilers at this point. We're recording this on Friday. Everyone's seen what's happening. Even if he didn't watch Raw, everyone's seen the end of Raw with the spear. But I mean, you had to do that. You're not pulling that trigger this early unless you had to. There was no way. Now, what's great is it still is going to work because of the seeds that had been planted and because Breaker's ridiculously talented. Who was it that told us that Breaker wasn't a star? I forget that. Who was it?
I'm not going to mention it.
All right. It wasn't anybody we had. I remember. No, I remember. You're right. No, I won't mention it either. But no, I was thinking it was somebody who had one of our shows. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
Yeah. But I mean, like this, come on, dude. Braun is he's this. I know some people want to have a hot take and you're like, I'm going to go with this one and run with it. Whoops. But I mean, it
looks like it's what you said. It's reportedly a shoulder injury from the last time he fought Cody at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, no, definitely something. And because I didn't go back and watch that, but I've seen people talking about it, kind of like you did, where you're like, when you're talking about injuries, like but I've seen people talk about how there was from a certain point in the match, he starts favoring the arm and shoulder, but that also could be the pec because the way your pec tears, it kind of messes the whole thing up. But it's definitely something major, and we'll obviously hear about it because I'm sure it'll be an Unreal episode about they're filming it now, then they'll film the comeback, whatever it is. But that does suck for him though, because I mean, he was set up to. I feel like he was set up to have the title until Mania.
Well, yeah, from what I'm just looking at now, this was the way they were. Take it for what you want, folks. Right. I don't know for sure. But the way they were going to work it was Seth Rollins would have gold and Braun would have gold, and they worked their way upward, or all the whole angle would go where they turn on it eventually.
Right.
Which obviously the injury, the injury had to create a major pivot, and that's what people were talking about. Like, why'd they do this so soon? And there were no reports out yet. Because plus, the last time Rollins was injured, he all threw us for a loop.
Right. We wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You were all over that one. And that's like I was saying, where there's certain people that have armage that know the breakdown of things and where it actually like, no, when he's holding his arm, there were certain pictures people showing you like this specific way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm like, if you've had the injury, you get it. So I
also understand the people questioning it though, because
right.
Like I said,
for sure.
That's a good job the first time.
Which
not believe him.
And because there's also like we know like they're not releasing shit to the dirt sheets either, so it's not like anything's reported like, oh, it's a work. Dave can say what he wants. They can all say what they want. They might be right, but they might also not be. We've seen because it's tight-lipped there of how they. And it's one of those things though. Like I feel like the bottom line of this all was it was always going to end with like Breaker and Heyman breaking off. Whether Reed comes with them or not, we'll see. And they just had to advance that and go forward with it now. But I mean, now it's one of those things of like, all right, Braun, you were the future. You're the now, buddy.
Yeah, brought Bronson with him too. So that's
which will work. Which I've got.
Like I'll be honest. When I saw the ending, I was like, man, that's awfully fast because I didn't know anything yet.
Right, exactly. I was surprised too.
And we've talked about this before. That's always the problem. Is people, and I understand it because it's 2025, and this is how people are.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just wait. And the injury reports came out like the next day. So you can't wait 10 to 12 hours
but nobody knew.
To get actual information that tells you what is happening.
Yeah.
And I understand. That's how, like I said, that's how people are now. And I was in there. I was in that group. I was like, this seems awfully early to be pulling this trigger. I'm like,
I was shocked by it.
And then I went back and just took a step back and said, I'm sure there's more to this than George does not know. And sure enough.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. No, we'll cover that. Like we'll just kind of burn through Raw at this, but there were some fun things that I liked, and I loved. I can't help it. I love Dominic Mysterio. I love how heely he is, like the stuff he does. He just gets his ass kicked the whole freaking match, pretty much. Does some dirty little stuff, but I mean, he's just getting Penta's moves left and right, but not taking like the finisher, not taking the big move. And then Rusev comes out and causes his little distraction so that Dom can get the bell hammer was brilliant, because not only does he get the bell hammer and then put it in his boot to do the 619, but then he gets the win and there's no bell after the 3 count. Like, I just loved it. I don't know why. I feel like that was so very old school and silly, but it worked. It was simple. Keep it simple, stupid. We always talk about that. Plus, Penta looks strong still because it's Rusev causing a distraction. And I mean, you can see it in the, with when Rusev, where's that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, when Rusev goes and gets it, like I had the other picture. Dom's like hiding away, like Dom's running away so that he can 6-1 to get the hammer.
How
old
is
his
he?
Boot.
How old is he now, Dominic?
Oh God, what, 26? Let's look that up. Hang on, let's look that up.
I would like to see him gain a little more body mass. That's what I would like, but I don't think it's going to happen because I look at Rey Mysterio.
Right,
but
I was going to say, and it's
maybe take that back, because Rey went through a little period there where he's shorter, but he was muscular as shit, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, and Dom's a little bit older than I thought. Dom's 28, so yeah.
Okay, I would like to see him put a little more muscle on. That's all.
Yeah, no,
he's still a string bean.
Yeah, no, and he makes it work for him. But you're right. No, it's definitely
just a little bit, nothing over the edge. We're gonna do 15 cycles of Roy, just something nice,
right? Yeah, exactly. We don't want to see him coming out where he's like tearing joints or whatever because he puts too much.
Yeah, he comes out one day looking like this, next day he looks like Big Papa Dom. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah. All the peaks and freaks. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. They continued the Rhea and Kyrie, or the Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warrior story, which is fun and good. I've seen some highlights they had the super shows in Japan the last couple of days, and also just selling out all over the planet with it. But I mean, I'm not sure where else you can go so much with this. It's like Io's broken away, but I mean, I guess it's just still the heels want to be shit heels, but it was a fun time. I mean, I'm
almost to the point where I've had enough of this, but I'm still
right. That's what I was saying. Like, it's a fun time and I enjoy the storyline overall, but it does feel like it's coming to the conclusion of some point. But then you get to the point where Io saves the match for Rhea, who gets the win, but then the Kabuki Warriors attack afterwards, and you're just like, okay, so what's happening here? Are we still going with this or what? Like, I don't really know. And I'm not opposed to it to the point. I'm just like, where's the end game? That's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like, There's got to be a point with it. I'm not 100% sure where it is. But that could be a good thing if they make it work out. I just don't see who's coming out of it. Like Io's not going to turn heel. Kyrie's not turning babyface. So,
well, they don't have anything now. Unless I'm wrong, they don't have anything scheduled until Survivor Series or War Games. War Games.
Yeah, War Games is right. The same thing. Yeah, you're right.
November 29th. That's the next thing. So you're not looking. You got a whole month and a half to go yet.
Jesus, right? Yeah. No, all of a sudden, yeah. When you say it out loud,
their schedule is strange. They should have never done that WrestlePalooza where they did it, but I understood why.
Yeah, no, I get you, but you're kind of right, though. I see where you're at that point, though, of like, well, now what do you do?
You got a month. Any current storyline going on Raw or SmackDown, you have a month and a half to still burn through.
Yeah, and I mean, and I feel like that's almost like where some might have to end so you can move things to others. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to end some of this. Like, you're gonna have to have some of these things happen on television. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna just have to. Which, I mean, if you're trying to get more must see with the television shows, like, it's not the worst thing that could happen with it.
Yeah, because SmackDown got a little better last week, and as we're recording, SmackDown is on now. So
and that's
who knows?
Yeah, and well, there was those rumors, and I don't know how true they were or what happened of it, where there were some shakeups in it, where it's like, Road Dogg was still going to be like in charge of SmackDown, but there was going to be some differences of who was going to be writing with what, and they were going to just kind of like shake up some of the writing teams, which, is never really a bad thing. I don't think. Sometimes I feel like there were some points where certain things were getting stale. I mean, that's where the draft can be good too, where there's some points where you're like, you know what, you need the draft to move from people from this show to that show or get some different feuds going because these people have feuded with everybody on the show 10 times.
Yeah, they kind of scrapped that whole draft day. You thought it was going to happen like
which is fine.
Jesus.
No,
Yeah.
I really feel, and I feel like the best thing to do is
not that I'm bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And that's great. I'm happy that they've kind of done that. What they really need to do is almost like they've done where, with like certain things where you just kind of let them be dormant for a while and then bring them back. Like bring it back when you're ready to do it as strictly an NXT draft where certain people from NXT are going to get called up. I agree. I'm saying done with it. I don't think you need that. There's certain Vince ideas that don't need to stick around there.
However, that being said, with their partnership with ESPN, I just have a feeling they're not going to let it go, and they're going to do some kind of big draft.
I could see that. I could see that. And maybe you save it till when you're doing like maybe so it coincides with the NFL draft timing of it or something. But you're probably right.
I'd rather be wrong.
I didn't think of it till you said it, but damn it, I don't see. I'm kind of convinced of that now because ESPN's paid a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
right.
They're gonna do the whole Raw drafts Asuka, and they're gonna put it on the board. Asuka is from Osaka, Japan.
Right.
And she's 25 years old.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. When Asuka's like 45, but yeah, no, I get you. Then you had Jimmy versus Bronson Reed, which was fine. I just like the shot. I like the old tape rib stuff. That's always good old school. And there's the first tsunami of the night. Bronson, I feel like was he was hitting a lot of those tsunamis on Monday, but and then Breaker comes out and after Bronson gets the win and he hits him, and then Jay comes out and tries to make the save. Again, like it's cool, but I feel like it's just like Jimmy's kind of being fed to the wolves here with these ones to take on the Vision. But after how the show ends, I mean, the Vision's got to be put over and good. So obviously,
you heard of Bronson's new pay thing with the WWE, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, he gets paid per tsunami.
Oh, shit! I'd be. Does he get paid the more intense Wade's reaction? The more times he gets it with it.
I had you.
No, it was the first time I'm like, oh, did he? Hey, man, there's
thought there'd be some exclusive news here, didn't you?
I thought maybe there was like a quietly re-signed a deal that we didn't I didn't see because I don't pay nearly as much attention to a lot of the news stuff because. Well, like you were saying earlier, nobody wants to be right. They just want to be first. And when you're reporting, and then you've got things like Alvarez, because the whole thing with Ridge Holland happened where they're not going to renew his contract. And Alvarez like, oh, well, they cut Ridge Holland while he's hurt. And someone's like, well, they didn't cut him. They're just not renewing his contract. Well, what's the difference? What do you mean, what's the difference? Not renewing a contract because we don't want to sign you for the next 3 years. That's not the same thing as we're cutting you in the middle of your contract. And for a reporter to go, what's the difference? Is
whoa.
Bullshit.
Reporter? Whoa.
Well, that's what Alvarez considers himself to be. I don't consider himself that. He considers himself to be that.
I don't like talking about this shit to begin with, but
I'm just
when you throw a reporter out there.
I'm just that's what he considers himself, or a journalist or whatever.
I almost had a heart attack.
Well, that's what he considers himself. I was really pissed.
I myself a handsome man. So what?
Yes. Hey, well, you're not making money doing this like he is. He has a job. That's why I hesitated halfway through. I said it. Did you hear me? But I had to go. Yeah, no, you did. Yeah, no, I was right there with. Yeah, I was. You had me. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. You're going to see a lot more stuff. People getting released, folks. The roster is bloated.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And that's going to happen. That's why with a lot of the NXT stuff where they talked about they were going to be doing stuff, they're going to be evaluating people every 3 to 6 months. And I mean, I'm sorry if that bothers people, but it's business. That's how shit goes.
You've been watching wrestling in the modern era. You have no clue. And if you listen to us, you would realize, well, not realize, but we kind of break down how wrestling territory kind of used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard it on Cornette. The most they would ever carry is like at the most 18 to 20 guys.
20 was the absolute biggest number I would have said.
You would see.
Right.
And these guys would just be interchanging. Like you
didn't start
close out your spot here in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then you'd go to Arizona or go to somewhere else. And you'd run 6 months and you'd go through.
Yeah. You don't see it breaking out. So you get those national things or those things they're doing.
Never have we seen two rosters the size of AEW's and the size of WWE's currently.
Right.
It's never happened. Never.
Right. And we've seen how it affects TNA when we watch the gauntlet match where it's like, woof, you're a little slim with them pickings there, guys. But that's because the look at the rosters of AEW and WWE. Look at the guys who either aren't being used or just injured in both companies. Like it's part of the deal. And that's where if they're going to tell, and it's not like they're like, oh, we're not going to re-sign you. Your contract ends tomorrow. It's like, instead of going into negotiate, there was time on it with it. Like that stuff's going to happen. Don't act like someone was fired because they weren't renewed. I mean, that's like saying that somebody, like an NFL player is signed, is the end of his contract at the end of 2025. He didn't get cut at the end of 2025. His contract expired. He's become a free agent. He didn't get cut.
That'd be better
in November.
It would be better if they retermed it free agent, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
that makes more
they're
sense.
Free agents when they're signed by Tony Khan.
Yeah, but when their contract is running out and it runs out at midnight at 12:01, they're officially
officially a free agent. They can do what they want,
which is the way they should word it more often.
Yeah,
because I think people would associate it with the NFL more.
100%. That was the comparison. That's the first comparison I made, and you're right. But without the right wording, people aren't going to put those two together, and they look at it wrong. And then
they could have a job, but they don't have a current job.
Right, exactly. And there's options of where to go, and that's like Ridge Hollow would be a great giant heel in TNA or whatever.
I don't know.
I'm just being. I do. I think.
Honestly, do you think Ridge Hollow? I don't think.
I think in TNA, if he was able to get some work where he didn't feel like he was being watched like a hog, I think that would be the best. I think you've got a chance. I think you sign him to a 1-year contract or however they can, 6 months or whatever they can do, and let's see what you can do, brother. And if he can be good, great. And if he gets injured again, all right, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, I might go with that. Didn't they do that with Tessa? Like sign her to a 6-month
I believe so. I believe it was an initial deal and don't get in any trouble.
That might be the way to do it with these guys. Just send them to TNA for 6 months, see if they can do something on TV. And if they can, sign them to 4 or 5.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It would make sense. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. It would be a good way of it of like, we're not going to be able to get you on our TV now. Go down there and show what you can do. The company has always proven if you go get over somewhere else, we will bring you back and give you big money and push you. I mean, they used to call it doing a Drew. Now they call it pulling a Cody. It's the same thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Before I'll finish up to my thought on this. Having bloated rosters like this hurts a lot of people. Just hurts them, not hurts them physically.
Right.
Well, maybe even physically because they're not getting their time and they, you can only you can practice like.
There's only so much.
Nothing like a game time action. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. And then you're right, though. It does hurt more because if you're trying to push 4 different storylines or people or whatever, but you only have enough time for 2, you're diluting all 4 of them versus just putting solid effort into 2 of them or even 3 of them. You know what I mean? I get you. No, I felt out 100%.
Yeah, this goes for both.
I got what you were saying.
Yeah, this goes for both AEW and
WWE. For 100%. Oh yeah.
WWE's not in, no.
WWE is a little bit better about stuff sometimes, but not all the time. They're if they want you to care about something, they'll keep going back to it, or at least drop little hints here or there, or little vignettes or discussions or whatever. But they're not that much better with it because there is points of like, wait, what's been going on with them?
Yeah,
I forgot it was the tag champs on SmackDown until I was watching last week's. Like, who are they? Oh, right, it's the one. Yeah, right.
If they didn't drop house shows, I probably wouldn't be saying this about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. House shows have always been an important part of it, whether it was the most important part back in the day before TV and pay-per-view, but even now it's best for the repetition. Like I remember like when you watch people be able to improve, like Dominic, he was working like Raw, SmackDown, house shows, NXT. And that's why in like 2 years or a year, he pretty much became one of the better wrestlers on the roster because you put in the repetition, the reps.
You got to work.
No, I fully agree. Plus, house shows are the most fun shows you can go to. Like, Raws and SmackDowns and TVs are, if you're going to see a moment, you're going to see it there, like a title change or a return or whatever. But pound for pound, bell to bell, like from the start of the show to the end of it, you're going to have the most fun at a house show. They're going to have more fun. They do more silly stuff. They are a lot more lax with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
And they'll throw in, like Vince used to always throw in something too. Like
oh, yeah.
You would go to a house show expecting it. You go to a house show expecting your normal run-of-the-mill stuff, and then you'd see something that was really significant. Like even my Honky Tonk Man, Ricky Steamboat thing that I saw, that was not on TV. The time because we didn't do live TV at the time, but
right. Yeah, no, because it was all syndicated. Yeah, no, I get you.
But you'll see something. You used to see something. So they're not going to bring him back.
Yeah, no, I think they might, but yeah, it won't be anywhere near where it was. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a return of them at some point, just because there'll be a reason for them to do them and make them worth it, but maybe not.
Yeah,
I don't
not
know.
in the States.
I hope they return. I'm hopeful.
Not here. Yeah. They'll do them overseas all night long.
Oh, they just did a super show in Japan.
They've been doing it all. So yeah, they're gonna keep doing it.
That's why on their return back from Australia, they went through. That's why they did the 3 shows in Australia, and they went up to Japan, did some super shows before they come home. Which, I mean, you're right there. Why not? They had Lyra and Bailey beating the Judgment Day girls, which was fine. Bailey still 4 characters at once, which I think this is good for Bailey and it's fun. But I mean, I'm not sure exactly what this did. Didn't this they did last week? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're like dragging stuff out. They have no choice.
You're right though. Now, when you said it, you're right though, because you're getting to that point of when's the match game? Because the main event is the triple threat. Yeah, I thought this was a great shot. I just really thought this was a good shot with everybody. But your main event with the 3 of them in here, who's gonna okay, so Punk ends up winning the match, great, but wins the title match. And obviously now with Seth being hurt, what's gonna happen? Is he have to drop? Is he gonna have to vacate? The fuck's gonna happen with all that? Right? I feel like he's not gonna be able to wrestle and lose the belt.
Not at all.
So they're gonna have to do what? Is there just going to be I don't know what's going to happen.
On a heel perspective, he might gift the title to Braun Breaker.
Well, not now because of what happens at the Oh, straight. I forgot there was this part too at the end. I forgot about that. Strat, my bad. Stephanie Vaquer came out and had an interview with Jackie Redmond, and then set this up too, which Roxanne Perez is the new #1 contender for the women's title. That's going to be obviously the main event of a show sometime.
She was tiny.
Yeah, she really is. She's good though. She's really a good wrestler, but I agree. She's small.
Yeah, it always catches me off guard when I see these little women do the rope thing and they go down to the second rope to bounce off of it. It's really weird to see.
Yeah, but I wanted to have this picture to talk about because this will be a good Raw main event and a good program before the pay-per-view, I would think, because but just it's one of those things. Yeah, you're right. If the next pay-per-view is not till the end of November, I mean that's a long time away to build stuff up. But like
you said, they're gonna have to end stuff. They're gonna have to end stuff in the next week or two and start things back up again.
Yeah,
for another
because it ends with Punk winning the match. Punk wins the title wins the triple threat match, becomes #1 contender, which is great. But okay, when is that happening? And against whom? And what? It kind of puts us in this weird
they might have no choice but to do a tournament,
right? I mean, I think you kind of what I would think is it'll be Punk versus somebody. They'll have it.
You give Punk a bye. You give Punk a bye.
Well, I was thinking that Punk and somebody will have a match, but Braun will stop it. That's what I was thinking. They'll have a match.
Make it easy. Make it easy. Your #1 contender, because Seth is obviously
there you go. Yeah.
Your #1 contender gets a bye. They have a tournament and they face Punk for the title.
Right, and it's just a semifinal and final, so it's a 4-man tournament, right? Is what you're saying?
Basically,
right. So Punk only has to wrestle. Yeah, I get you. No, that works.
Maybe a quarterfinal.
Maybe okay. Then Punk has to wrestle twice. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, then 1. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Quarterfinal would work. So at 8, so you go 8 down to 4, down to 2. Okay, and so Punk is already one of the 4, is what you're saying. I can go with that. I could work with that. I'm just thinking, Punk's gonna be like, damn it, I was the #1 contender.
No. I'm sorry. I screwed you up. I'm sorry. Give Punk a bye throughout the whole tournament.
Oh, just into the final? Okay.
Yeah. Because he's the #1 contender already. We've already established that. So just give him a bye into the final round and to have others. So your winner is going to face CM Punk for the title. That makes more sense.
And you could have that. And if you have 8 guys. No, you're great. No, I love it because now it's better. No, we crescendoed and we made it better with it because now you can actually do that to Survivor Series. You know what I mean? You can have you can have the quarterfinals. You could drag that out a bit. That actually would work for them in that sense. I'm just interested where it will go, but so Punk wins and then Breaker comes out and murks everybody. This is the scariest picture I think I might have ever seen, by the way. Just imagine being Jay right there. Like he's
been the recipient of a couple of these.
Right? Yeah, no, I mean, like, the worst still was the Carlito one, because then he got speared, and then he was never seen again. But like,
there's been a couple.
This shot was just great. I just thought the cameraman got a great picture. Look at the guy over in the right there in the white shirt, just whoo, and the guy in the blue. There's a lot of whoo.
They're all thinking this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, right, like that. And then Breaker also gets LA Knight and CM Punk for good measure. And then Seth comes out, and we get Tsunami number 2 of the evening, which, that's, again, if he's getting paid for Tsunami, he's going off well.
Mm-hmm. I got the inside scoop, folks.
And you got this great moment here. I love Heyman here, because I feel like Heyman was acting, and they're going to have it where he was the one who convinced Braun.
So obviously it's his left shoulder.
Good call. That's a very valid point. Yeah. Or the left pec. It's the left somewhere. You're right. Yeah, it's definitely not the right arm.
You can tell by the way he's
right. The way it's down. Like you're right. And then the moment happens, and all I was told was that the end of the show was big. And so I'm like, I remember watching this and was just going, there's no way Breaker's good. I didn't get the sentence out, because I'm like, something's going to happen. There's not going to be a return. Or is there going to be a return? Like, I was trying to think of it. And then Breaker spears Seth. Yeah. I still it was
shocking at the time.
It was. I mean, like I said, even though I guess I kind of knew something was coming, I didn't really though, but I just, wow. And then,
and after going back and watching this, it was one of Braun Breaker's safest spears I've seen.
Oh, for sure. He knows what he's doing. He there's certain times he goes really all in. He can not Goldberg you, or he can Goldberg you. I loved it too, how the facial expressions were great, because obviously Heyman was going to be like, oh my God, totally shocked, no idea what's going on. But I loved Reed the whole time being like, yeah, they all had what's up? Yeah, like, okay, what's next? And then you had this moment too. I mean, again, more pants being shat. Yeah, we had Jay shatting his pants earlier after when he was getting speared, and then Heyman's definitely giving the old squirts there. I just love that shot. I thought that was a great picture. And then again, Reed all right, what's going on? And then we get Tsunami number 3. He goes over, talks to Reed too, and we get Tsunami number 3 of the evening, and the final shot of Monday Night Raw, the new Vision, I guess. I don't know what they'll change that name, call them something else, but it was impactful. I was surprised by it, but then, I mean, with the injury, it makes sense. You kind of had to go with it and go that direction of it.
There was no choice.
Right. But it's also one of those things where it's, I guess there could have been a choice if they thought Breaker wasn't ready and decided to go a different way with it, but they didn't. And I was happy about that. I thought that was a good way of going about it, because I think Braun's ready for it. Whether he's the one who ends up taking on Punk or what, but I think Breaker is the real deal, and the business, the future, whatever you want to call him. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. A lot of people thought the Vision wasn't hitting. I didn't hate it that much, or as hate as much as other people did, but the entire time I was always, but we get Breaker and Heyman together. I'm cool with it. And so now we just get more of that. So I'm cool with this too.
Yeah, there had to be once there was an injury, you had to make some kind of pivot, and it'd be interesting if they do that tournament idea, and Punk's waiting for the winner, and the winner ends up being Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
could be good.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah,
they got time. I mean, now they got time.
Right.
This is where you want to take the time to do it right.
Yeah. Right. When you have this long to figure it out before the next pay-per-view. And you also have War Games in the pay-per-view too. So there's that part of it as well, where they can also have some of the episodes or a lot of the segments really giving main event time to that. So you don't have to put all the main event time to the Vision or whatever with it. But it'll be interesting to see. This could be
a blessing actually for him, because like you just said, people were getting sick of the Vision.
Yeah.
And they had to run another month and a half with Division the way it was before the next pay-per-view. Now they can just tell a whole new story again, which is what.
You're right. That's a good way of looking at it. I mean, it's a benefit for everybody except for maybe Seth. I feel like he's probably the one who's like, God damn it. But I mean, is what it is. He's right-handed, right? So I think he can still hold his daughter with his right arm and heal the left there. Like it is.
He has right arm in the air. So yeah.
Yeah, right. It is what it is. It's one of those things, though. I mean, it's not ballet. It is what it is. It's a tough business, but I just, you wish him the best. Godspeed, Seth. But I was very intrigued by what happened for the show. I don't think they'll do much tonight. I don't think, obviously, with it, but we'll see what happens on Monday. I did see Becky Lynch's tweet where she retweeted, and her tweet was, "I'm gone for 1 week." I thought that was a good. I thought that was a good tweet. I also saw Omos retweet it and said, "I'm available if you want," and she just responded with like the thinking emoji. I don't think anything will happen there, but I thought it was a fun idea. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But that was Monday Night Raw. And I guess we can also bring up NXT. That was fun too. I was cool to kind of see the fallout from just the Showdown show and Bound for Glory. Ricky Saints came out, cut himself a cool promo, and then Trick Williams was on the Tron. I figured, he was still recovering from Sunday since he lost, but I'm kind of surprised in the sense because I kind of really expected Trick to just go up after Bound for Glory, but I guess he did leave Ricky hanging, so he's got to do he's got.
I was on the exact opposite thing. They're not calling anybody up until they address that roster issue.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
That's right. I mean,
that's a good point.
Where are they going to put them? Where are they going to put everybody?
I don't know. It's a valid point. That's why I don't. And that's why we talked about that with This Is Awful yesterday. I forget which one of them said it. It might have been Awful. I think it was This actually. Was that people keep saying Oba needs to go up now, and like, no, Oba Femi is doing great where he's at. You're just gonna push him.
They're fine here.
Yeah,
there's
at least wait till Cena's gone, just to give him some room, and then maybe AJ too. But but they set up the match for Halloween Havoc, so that is the cool, which is in not this weekend but next weekend. So that'll be a good pay-per-view up in Prescott Valley. Which is in Arizona, but no, I won't be going, y'all. Don't worry, I'm not. I will be ready to do the we can do a watch along or however you want to do it. Spaces. I'm not sure what our timing is, but we'll figure it out. What was also great for me, I mean, because I always loved the guy. I wish he'd come out to the old, at least at the start of the O Radio music, but it is cool. This is Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder's first WWE match since 2020 when he got released. Yeah, he got released. Probably. Yeah, I knew they said it out loud, but I didn't know the exact timing of it, but I mean, he got released April 15th, 2020. He was in that big release, but
he gets is he just here like on
he's here representing TNA. Yeah, okay. He's representing TNA. When he came out, his lower third had the TNA logo above it, which I think is smart how they knew that and they distinct him with him.
But he's still not signed with anybody, right?
No, he is absolutely independent. Which TNA can do. I know TNA will do per appearance deals or whatever, which is why he doesn't have any TNA titles, and like he was in the gauntlet match but lost. He even loses this match, which I was surprised when looking for pictures of it. There wasn't shots of, but he lost. Which is fine. You know what I mean? That which Briggs is bigger than I realized. Like you see him when he's a large man. I was surprised.
Briggs and Stratton was a large team.
Right.
That's why I always call him the Lawnmower Company.
Yeah, no, there it is. I had the other picture of that. It was done. He's a big dude. He's a big man. And so that was cool. I'm glad to see they're doing stuff with him. I still think he needs some sort of heel manager or mouthpiece because I feel like, but maybe that'll just be his character. He'll be a little weird on the mic, like I don't know. Maybe it does work for him. I'm not sure. We got to see El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., my favorite name in the history of professional wrestling, come out and take on Lexus King, El Hijo de Brian Pillman.
Yeah, they built this up kind of good.
This was fine.
They did build it up good.
Lexus King. I like Lexus King. I really do. He's a good shit heel. He can take and do jobs. He's got no need to go up anytime soon. He's still learning. He's honestly still unlearning. Like you always talk about it, the bad habits that people get from working in AEW, and especially for him, the age that he worked at. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. Like give him time. He can spend the next 2-3 years in NXT and learn and actually figure out the business. But he then loses to El Hijo, which is fine. Dr. Wagner Jr. wins. And then Ethan Page comes out and they set up a Dia de los Muertos match. I always have trouble saying that, even though I know enough Spanish because I lived in Phoenix more in my life than I haven't. But just means the no rules. I did feel like if Cornette reviewed this, you'd get the no rules, no disqualification, or no count out, no disqualification, lazy booking. But they have had a good story, at least decently, with the two of them. And Ethan Page can make anybody look good and wrestle well with anybody. And it kind of works with this whole I'm the greatest North American storyline that he's doing.
Yeah, so. Cornette changed up his opinion on Ethan.
I heard that. I heard that today when I was
listening to it when it first came out, like Thursday, I think it was.
Well,
I listened to it and I was like, oh boy, there's a turn of events. That's cool.
Well,
so he likes Ethan Page a lot and he likes Javon Evans a lot. So
presentation. It does a hell of a thing because he hated Ethan Page when he was doing the like Karate Man shit and wrestling himself in TNA because I was when TNA was LOL TNA. But no, it was funny when I heard Jim Cornette initially start. He's like, one of the matches on NXT was the match of the night. Or from both shows because that was on Title Tuesday, and I was like, it has to be Page and Ali. I'm like, what else would it have been?
I was thinking the same thing, and then I'm like, there's no way Cornette takes an Muhammad Ali match, an Ethan Page match, and calls it. And I heard him say it, and I almost shit myself.
But that's one of the reasons I've always liked Cornette, and one of the things I always try to do with what we do, of like, hey man, if I'm wrong, cool. Like if I like something and then it sucks, or if I dislike something and then it becomes like I'll be the first to admit it. That's fine.
No, he never said he was wrong.
Right. Well, I get you, but he's at least admit to know it's that's a valid point. But I got no problem with hey, if my mind changes or like hey, something is. But that's one of the reasons we do the AEW reviews. I want it to get better. It's not my fault that it's not. But Blake Monroe versus Zarya was next. This was good. I feel like this was a good. I feel like they probably had matches on the Indies or in Japan or Australia or whatever with their previous times, but this was good. I feel like Blake Monroe is getting more into the WWE style. She definitely wants to put in the work. But she tried to grab a chair and then Sol Ruca stops her, but that distracts the referee so that she can. If you see in her little right hand there's a spike, and she spiked Zarya in the neck with her little hairpin spike deal, which is fine. That's a good heel win. I enjoyed that part of it. I think Blake Monroe, I know she's talented. I just feel like more time in NXT will only do you well.
Yeah, you got to remember it's CW's main show.
Yeah.
They don't want people to leave their show. Right. They're going to want them as long as possible because they're doing well.
Yeah. No, you're right. You the way you're absolutely right because they don't want people to just be they're not just going to be trying to have people leave. They want to, especially the stars, and she is a star. You're absolutely right about that.
Keep them there. Let them go.
Right. It can only be good. It can only be a good thing. You're absolutely right. And then we had, the Hank and Tank versus Sean Spears group play, they're fine. That's all so people can get better with it. But obviously this match was mostly just so that OTM could return, which was cool. That's Jada Parker's old group that obviously now this is why Wes Lee was released. Almost lost it there. Almost went full Baba Wawa on that one. But that's because this group was with Wesley. He was like the lead, so this is more of just like, these guys, and these guys are big. They seem talented. They kind of faded off of NXT once I got really into NXT. So I've more heard about them and seen some clips, but I haven't actually seen them week to week. So I'm at least looking forward to it. Right. Exactly. That's kind of where it is. Like hopefully it'll be good. I'm hopeful with it.
They got the size, and
I was just gonna say
obviously you're there and you're willing to learn already, so you already know that. So.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I feel like also it's one of those things where when there's cuts, if you pass it and you make it through and you're not cut, like you just you need to bust your ass off at this point. I feel like that's where I would see, you know what I mean? Like,
the reason I always say they look good. Again, I understand it's 2025, but wrestling is a cosmetic business.
Absolutely.
And you have to look the part. And that's the first thing I look for. So so you know my criteria.
100%.
Yeah. A man that looks, or a woman that looks like they're in shape to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Or it's something where like they've got their own look, it doesn't always have to be the giant, or there's got to be a specific, you got to stand out. There's got to be something to it. These two are giants. They stand out, they're in shape. They can do tag team moves. I'm excited to see where they go forward.
I'm not looking for a Hulk Hogan body or a Ultimate Warrior body. I'm looking for someone that looks like they're athletically inclined.
Yeah,
that's all.
Right, exactly. Like they're in shape, like they're a professional athlete, because that's what this is. Like at the end of the day, it's a professional sport, entertainment or not. Yeah, and then the women's battle royal was the main event. Obviously, this one involved NXT, TNA, and Evolve ladies in there. There were some fun spots. Like you had the moment where Lash Legend caught Jakara Jackson. That was cool. There was Zarya showing off her strength. Jesus, just strong woman, man. She's a tough lady. And then it came down to like the final four, where Jordan. For me, it seemed like they were setting up Jordan Grace to win it, but it's right. I was gonna obviously I think they want to keep the title on JC Jane for a bit, because I don't think Tatum Paxley's gonna win it, but good for Paxley, good for her. Women's title match at Halloween Havoc. I mean, she's the spooky girl, so that also works. I'm okay with it. Is what it is. Wasn't the greatest. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Royal Rumbles, but I like the storyline. We get one more NXT before the pay-per-view or PLE on the 25th. I believe it was the 25th. Yeah, Saturday the 25th. Yeah. Good for them. Yeah, it'd be fun.
I didn't watch it.
It was a good show.
I didn't watch it.
That's fair. I mean, honestly, I had it on, but
I will say one thing for those people in our comment section comparing me to Cornette. Thank you.
Right? No, yeah, that's a good. No, yeah, hey, man, hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. We're allowed to voice them. It's fine.
I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, I did too. That made me laugh. I did see that. No, I forgot about that, but I did see it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's one of those things. I mean, didn't he like just turn 63 or 4? You're like right in that same age bracket.
I'm just kidding around, people. This is the sense of humor from the older people, so get used to it.
Right. I was gonna say, I rarely do I think, aside from like some of the shit we've seen on AEW, like where we get actually mad and actually trash something. I feel like the only time I ever heard you like really trash was like, what was it, when Claudio picked up Hook after he puked? You were mad. You were like genuinely, because you as well, you should have been, because he should. That's unprofessional, because it was. But
you gotta think also,
we're trying to have fun.
I've been an athlete. I played hockey my entire life and stuff.
And a coach.
I know how that shit feels, and I've been through it all. And the last thing you want to do is have something like that.
100%. No, that was.
I'll perk up when shit like that happens.
Right. When we try to have fun with it and present our opinions in a fun and informative way. So we're just trying to have some fun here. But please keep commenting, folks.
Yeah, we have fun on Spaces every Sunday. By the way. We have a good time on Spaces.
Yep, and we will be there this Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, right through my account at AltJakeTakesOn. We will be live on Spaces there. We will be doing our live show here on YouTube Thursday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be reviewing, I guess, the post Wrestle Dream Dynamite. Ooh, that should be interesting. And then we'll obviously talk about Wrestle Dream on Spaces for as much as we can watch of it. I mean, I'll watch the show, but I'm not going to take nearly as extensive a notes as I do during Dynamite, because, I mean, I only have one notebook over here. So, and then, anything else?
Then we'll do our classic match. I'm off on Mondays for a while, so we can do our classic match.
Yeah, we can do that Monday. Yeah, we can do that Monday before Raw. That works. I'm in for that. Perfect. Well, anything else you want to talk about or cover, my friend?
No, it's covered it all. We got it all.
Oh yeah, we've got over an hour and 13 minutes. That's a pretty good one. Man, see, that's what's good about this. I don't ever like look at the clock. I don't get bored. That was one of the other things back to This Is Awful. When I was with them, we started. It was 8 o'clock my time. The next time I looked at my clock, it was like 9:40. I'm like, that's a good conversation. That's fun. So yeah, check everything out, everybody. Leave, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let them know to subscribe. Let them know it's absolutely free. We seem to get that question from folks like, oh yeah, they would, but they don't have any money. It costs you nothing, but it helps us a ton. So thanks, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.
Perfect.